Welcome to the Encouragement for Real Life podcast. I'm Julie Lefebvre, your host. Life is remarkable, sometimes raw, and always real. And some days we could use a little extra encouragement for our real lives. Here you'll find that, along with personal life-impacting stories, helpful life hacks, timely inspiration, biblical insight, and a fresh perspective. The Encouragement for Real Life podcast equips you to be a light in this world and to shine bright wherever God has you. I'm glad you're here today. Welcome back to the Encouragement for Real Life podcast. I am Julie, and I couldn't be happier that you are joining me here today. Welcome to our guest episode for the month. This is probably my favorite episode. Every single month is my guest episode, and all year long, I'm inviting people who have impacted my life in a positive way. And these three women have done that. My sisters-in-law. I didn't grow up with sisters. Wasn't blessed in that way, but God blessed me with three great brothers. And just appreciate them so much. But these three women married my brothers, and they are very special to me. The sisters that I never had growing up. And I love to have adult sisters. So I was just blessed with this time with them. And I appreciated that they took time out of their schedule to come and just be with me here on the podcast and be able to encourage you maybe a little bit too. And I think you're going to find some encouragement. We sat around my dining room table, and the questions that I asked them, I love their answers. They were, some kind of surprised me. I didn't maybe remember all the stories or know all the stories. And so I love learning more about people that I already know. I think that's fantastic. And being encouraged in the process. And I think you're going to find the encouragement maybe that you've been looking for this week in this episode. So if you are ready, let's get into it. I am so thankful that you're here today to join me on the podcast. My sisters-in-law, welcome. I'm so glad you're here.
Thanks for having us.
Yes, thank you. This will be fun. I'm so excited. Some of us don't like this. This is way out of our comfort zones, but I just appreciate you doing this all year long. I am having people, and I did this last year, people on my podcast who have greatly impacted my life. And you three have done that. You're the sisters that I never had growing up. And so I am just so grateful for you, your friendship, your presence, and just that you married my brothers because you fit into our family well. So, and if you have not seen the episodes of my brothers being on the podcast, I will link those in the show notes so you can find those. So would you guys just quickly introduce yourself and maybe say just one thing that's really important in your life right now? Stacie, you want to go first?
Okay. Well, I'm Stacie, and I married the youngest of the Gorko brothers, Pat, and we live nearby in another small town, and he has a business there, and he's also the mayor. And I work at the school district that we live in, and we have three adult children. They're all in various places. So yeah. And, gosh, important to me right now, being outside in the sun, enjoying summer.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Kelly, you want to go next?
Sure. I'm married to Steve. He's the middle one.
Okay.
He's a farmer. We live right across the field from Julie. I met him 38 years ago on a blind date. We've been married 36 years in August, and we have three grown children as well. And I'm grateful that I'm retired.
Yeah.
Yes, I worked 35 years, so now I can just be home farming.
Mm-hmm.
So that's nice.
Yeah, that's good.
Hi, my name's Deb, and I married the oldest, Marty. So we'll say.
Just anything else? Kids? You have kids?
Oh. We have three girls, and they all live really close to us. The oldest will be getting married here within 6 weeks. So it's exciting. It's stressful. All the above.
Mhm.
So we can't wait for that.
Yeah.
That's us.
And anything that you are grateful or really enjoy right now in your life? Anything?
Grateful that my girls are close by.
That's nice.
Yeah, it is nice. I mean, we can be there in minutes, and just the fact that they all can come to our house anytime they want also.
Yeah, door's always open.
Mhm.
Well, that's great. It's good to have you all here.
Mhm.
I would love to know. First question. I sent these questions off ahead of time, so some have notes, some do not. But because I know this is not something probably all of you normally do. So I would love to know, what's your first impression? What was your first impression of our family? Do you remember way back when?
I was terrified.
We terrified.
I was terrified.
Really?
Mm-hmm. I was. Well, for lots of reasons.
Oh, okay. You want to share any?
I was divorced, had a child. I was not Catholic. I knew
That
that was
didn't matter.
important to your mother.
Oh,
I was terrified, but everybody was so welcoming.
Mhm.
It was all for nothing.
Right.
And that fear was for nothing.
Mhm.
And Marty was so good to Krista. Yes. He took her in and really
Sure.
made an effort to include her in everything.
Mhm.
Very nice.
That's great.
And Pat was such a smart aleck. He was fun to be around.
Yep.
He was the jokester.
Yeah.
Yeah. Steve's the serious one, so it was good to have somebody who could let go and cut loose.
Mhm.
Your dad was so fun,
Yeah.
and I loved your mom.
You're
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I just felt like they were very similar to my parents. You know, your parents, it being the baby, also in my family, and Pat's the baby. My parents are older, and Pat's parents were older than our typical friend group parents, and so I just felt like, wow, I feel like this is natural for me to have older parents, and your siblings were so close, which was a relief for me, and it was great to have little kid, which I was used to because I have lots of nieces and nephews. And so I was comfortable with that too. And so I just remember feeling that relief, like, oh, they're like what I would want in a family. And so, yeah. Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay. How about you?
I
What's
would
your
have
first
to
impression?
agree on what you guys say, because the older you get, the more you realize not everybody is the same as your family.
Right.
Your parents were loving, genuine, and really made you feel part of them. I remember every time I would come with Marty and visit.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Yes, they were great parents.
Yes, they were.
I hope they were great in-laws too
Yeah.
for you. It sounds like they were. Yeah. What I love this question. What was something about marrying into our family that surprised you?
How close your mom and I became.
Oh,
She became one of my best friends.
yeah.
She was so sweet. And like I said, I was so nervous and I wasn't sure I would fit in.
Mm-hmm.
And I wanted to so badly because Steve was the best thing I'd ever had. So
Yeah.
I wanted to fit in, and she made me fit in. We found out we had a lot more things in common than we didn't.
Yeah.
So it was wonderful. That surprised
It's good.
One thing that surprised me
Yeah.
was the mincemeat pie.
me.
I remember that.
Yes.
Tell us about that. All right, so we were at that family get together and had
Probably Christmas, I'm guessing.
had dinner around the table, and your mom asked everybody what they wanted for dessert. So I don't remember what the other choice was,
Yeah.
but mince pie. Sure, I'll have mint pie. That sounds good. Well, it wasn't mint pie.
Far from it.
Yeah.
I choked them down. Just pull on it. But yes, I will always remember that. The mincemeat pie.
Uh-huh.
It was not
That's
mint.
funny.
No, it was not mint.
That's a good story.
It does, yes. It gets a laugh every time we talk about it.
Mhm.
Yeah, forgot about that.
I would just say that I was probably more terrified of Julie than Bill and Margaret, just because you and Pat were so close. And so I didn't have brothers I didn't have brothers. So that brother-sister relationship, and my sisters, they're so much older than me that I don't have that kind of relationship that you have with Pat. And so it was intimidating to me. Like, if you didn't like me, I know I was out. No. So, but we have a really close and great relationship. So it's a relief.
Yeah, well, I didn't
You didn't
realize.
kick me out.
No, no, no. I'm going to kick any of you out. Oh no, that's great. I love your answers.
These are so fun.
What's something funny about your brother, the brother that you married, that most people don't know? So my brother, of course, that you married, but something that most people don't know. Something funny.
Well, I'll share, and he doesn't know I'm sharing this.
Oh gosh.
So, and it's not really, I don't know, it's funny, but people don't know about it. It was very sweet to me, but I think other people might think it was funny. But when our kids were little, diaper age and couldn't dress themselves, Pat was a very hands-on parent, which I think all of our husbands were. And whenever he would change their diapers or get them ready for bed or give them baths or whatever, he would sing Frank Sinatra songs to them. So yeah, that's something that, whenever I hear a Frank Sinatra song, that's what I think of. So, and he also had that no hitter in the town we live in. So I had to slide that in there.
Here we go again about the no hitter.
Oh my goodness.
Kelly or Deb, what do you think?
The kids call Steve the cat whisperer. He is, I swear, God gave him that gift, and he is the cat whisperer.
Yeah.
We have, I think, 17 cats right now.
Outside.
Only 2
right?
are tame, all
Outside.
outside.
And that is.
Yeah, yes. We don't live far from town. I firmly believe that people in town decide they don't want them, and guess where they come? They get dumped, and they find their way to our place. And Steve is so soft-hearted. He will do anything, but he will work with those wild cats until he can at least touch them. But he's got cats that just wait for him every morning to come out to feed. And they follow him like, hey, we're your crew and we're ready to work.
I can imagine the picture that you posted. I can see it.
Uh-huh.
Steve walking out to the
With
set
all
and
those
all the
cats.
cats are around him. Yeah.
It's amazing what he will do. We had some kittens born in one of the hay racks. And the slots, the reason we were unloading hay, and I heard this noise, and I look over, and I could have swore something fell. It was baby kittens. Mama was having babies, and as she's having them, they're falling right through the slats and onto the hay floor. Steve stopped what he was doing, had to stop the elevator, had to go over, get a feed sack, put it under there so they wouldn't drop through so she could finish having her babies. She had 5.
Oh my God.
Yeah. She's now moved them up to my flower garden by the house. Yeah, she loves Steve. So it's not all good being a cat whisperer.
That way, what about you?
This was one hard time.
Oh,
Just because there's a lot of funny things, but yeah. Which ones can I say on camera? No, I'm just
Yes.
Probably one of them, I would say, kind of dealing with farm animals too. My parents' dog got ran into in the driveway, and they just live, shouting distance away from us. And she had kind of been coming back and forth once in a while, or, daily. And she got hit that day and came down, and Marty found her by our back door. And he immediately called my mom and said, we need to take Millie to the vet. And so him and my mom took Millie to the vet, and we've pretty much adopted her now. But yeah, he's just the way he is with dogs, and I think that just kind of shows how he is in general, loving and caring.
Yeah.
And just can,
How they were raised.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because
How
Pat's
they
the
were
same way
raised.
too.
Oh, I know.
All
Pat,
three of your
Pat
husbands.
has, special spot for
Yeah.
cats, and,
Yeah.
brought one in astray, and,
Yeah.
nursed her back to health. And so very similar.
They're not afraid to show them up.
Mhm.
Steve was like Pat.
Yeah.
He put the kids to bed every other night. He would get up, let me sleep. So it was like, I always knew every other night I would get a full night's sleep. We were both working full time. So it was wonderful. But yeah, they're just kind-hearted, loving people.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're lucky.
Well, that's good to hear, because I grew up with somebody different.
Well,
I wasn't going to say not a brother. That's not the brothers.
They're different today than they were when growing up, but they were great brothers.
Sure.
They're special now. So I also want to know I'm going to throw y'all off because it's a question that just popped in my head. What's the thing that how I want to say this in a nice way? What's the thing that I know you're all going to say the same thing. What's the trait that you found in your spouse or in our family in general that you just had no idea?
The Gorko temperament. Yes.
And the Gorkos like to be right.
Yes. Oh, they're never wrong.
No.
No.
Yes, or that where you like to be in control, or I don't know how we.
There's
got
one
that.
way, and it's the Gorko.
Yeah, and it's not a bad way,
No.
it's just, it's something that we learned early on.
Yes.
Yeah. Anyway,
Just had to throw that in.
but let's kind of switch gears here. Has there been a time in your life when God showed up in a way that you still remember today, or that you just know you never want to forget?
You all know what I'm going to say.
I do.
2016.
Not everybody else probably knows that. You want to share just a highlight?
Steve was hurt. They believe in a Manly hay. He tore the carotid artery in his neck. That led to 2 strokes. He couldn't swallow. He couldn't walk. A doctor from Boston, when we were at the U of I, told me he's never seen anybody survive what Steve went through. The worst 6 weeks of my life. Yeah. It was absolutely horrible. I never left his side. I stayed with him. I sat in a chair, put my head on his bed until one of the nurses took pity on me and got me a chair that would recline, and that was wonderful. And then he went through several weeks of rehab. He had a stomach tube because he couldn't eat. They told him he'd never eat again. He learned to walk within 4 weeks after the second stroke. He learned to walk again. I couldn't have done it without my faith. Because it was many nights all by myself with him and my thoughts.
Right. God
So-
was with you. Yeah.
Yes, he was.
Both of you.
Yes, it wasn't Steve's time.
Mhm.
I prayed to grandma and your dad, your mom and dad. I prayed to them constantly, please. He's not ready to join you yet. So,
Yeah.
no, he's not. He's okay. He's learned how to do things differently on the farm. We've changed a lot of things. I don't let him out of my sight, but we do most things together, but he's doing well. So
That's good.
yeah,
Mhm.
that is
God's faithful.
he is. Yes, he is, absolutely.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Deb or Stacie?
When God really showed up in my life was when we were trying to have kids. Took us a while. And then I found out I was pregnant, ecstatic, and I lost it. And doctor said, wait, give it some time. And so we waited a month. And then and then we had our oldest, Angie. And one of the biggest blessings, one of our 3 big blessings.
Yeah.
Um, but that shows that, it's God's time, not ours. It's not like we were, trying or anything, but God said, you're ready. And and my body was ready. So we just went with it. And
Yeah.
then since we had a hard time getting pregnant the first time, we didn't take any precautions. And 11 months later, here rolls out Megan. So, yeah.
It's not our timing.
Right. God has a plan. And sometimes you're on a roller coaster with it, but hey,
Very true.
we all come out.
That's right.
Thanks for sharing that.
Stacie?
I think we're all focused on health today, but and at the end of 2003, I was also pregnant and had a medical crisis, and I almost didn't make it and lost our baby too, and almost lost my life. And at the same time, we had our house in the market, and we're buying another house. Trying to move, and it was the holidays, and there was a lot going on, and things were we had 2 toddlers, so things were kind of stressful, and it took me a while to recover, and my mom came, and so and then we were told that we probably wouldn't have any more kids, and I didn't like that answer. And I prayed really hard for that. And we had Reagan. So he answered my prayer.
Yeah. Oh, amazing stories of God's faithfulness.
Well, there's so many.
Aren't there?
Really.
And it was hard to pick
how
which
do you
one.
pick what? There's
Yeah.
so many. Just Steve coming into my life, a blind date.
Right.
Who'd have thunk?
Yeah.
And here we are.
Yes.
It's just like,
Yeah.
I would have never picked him out of a crowd
Oh my God.
as somebody I would date. No.
Yeah.
And I didn't want a farmer, number one. I grew up on a
Right.
farm. I
Same.
didn't want to marry a farmer. Here I am.
Yeah. And loving every minute of it.
My dad laughed me all the way down the aisle. Yeah.
Yeah. That's great. What helps you stay connected to God in everyday life? Anything that you
I
do
pray
or
daily.
anything?
Yeah.
What'd you say? Sorry.
Prayerful conversations daily. Yeah.
Just talk.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah.
Steve says I pray more than anybody he knows. But it's not a formal,
Right.
It's sitting on the lawnmower, or it's weeding flowers, or it's driving into the care center to see mom. It's just, we're out working together and he's screaming at me because I'm doing something not right. The Borka wet.
Yeah. Right.
It's just, you say a prayer. It's just always there.
Yeah.
How about you, Deb?
Again, prayer.
Mm.
There's a social media post or social media that I follow. They post 1 to 3 times a day. And I always I always get that. And one time I looked down to see how many likes there was. It had only been posted like 7 minutes and there was already over 1,000 likes. And I just thought, wow, that many people that fast can hear about God and want to hear about God. I just thought that was neat. And, you know, he's out there. And
Yeah.
we
He's
just
with
got to
us.
let him in.
Yeah, that's right. That's the
Mhm.
key. Yeah, we just have to let him in. You're right. Now I know not all of us have grandchildren, but if our grandchildren listen to this episode someday, what would you want them to know about faith or family or just what matters most in your life? A couple of us have grandchildren, a couple of us don't. Yeah, but maybe someday. What would you want them to know?
I think our family's pretty fun. When we all get together, we have a pretty good time.
Yeah.
And yeah, we're all God-loving people, and we're all very close. So I think those are the important things.
For showing them the example of what family is.
Yeah.
Just like we were shown, when you were shown.
Yeah.
So I think that's a good thing. I know that my 2 grandsons love coming here. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, we need to have them
It's
over
good.
more often. Get them together more often.
I would say family is huge. And as our one popular artist says, keep the faith. And
Yeah.
family and faith are huge.
Yeah.
Yeah. We can get through most anything with family and faith, can't we? Yeah. Yeah. Thanks. Thanks for sharing that. After all these years of being family together, what is something that you've learned from the other women sitting at this table?
Actually, when I saw that question, I thought of you. And I'm thinking, we all grew up with sisters. I mean, I had a sister and a brother.
Oh,
You guys
yeah.
had sisters. You didn't. You
No.
had brothers. What was it like for you?
Mm-hmm.
That was the first thing that came to my mind
Hmm.
was how did you feel? All of a sudden you've got 3 girls into your life and
Yeah. I was excited. Yeah. To have some sisters finally. My brothers were great, but yeah, they were brothers and want to play with dolls and, do all the things that I wanted to do. But yeah, growing up was different than having, sisters now as adults. I love it. I know we don't get to spend a whole lot of time together. We all live within 20 minutes of each other.
Yeah.
But we don't get to spend, a whole lot of time together, which is life sometimes just doesn't allow that. But I'd like that to be different. But yeah, it's just you guys are all very special. Like the sisters that I wasn't born with, but that God gave me.
yeah.
I feel like that too. I think that, especially both of you have gone through health situations with your husbands. And, I just think that I watched you be very strong and supportive for them as they went through that. And, I hope I don't ever have to do that, but it's not realistic. So yeah, that's what I learned.
Yeah. Anything?
Yeah. One thing I learned is probably of our family get-togethers. How it used to be, Christmas and Easter when your parents were still around,
Okay.
and occasionally here and after that. But it was just Christmas for a couple years. till, I believe it was you, Julie, that requested to do quarterly birthdays.
Yeah.
So it just kind of brings us all together, I feel, a little bit, and keeps us updated on each other's lives because we all are busy. And
Yeah.
I just kind of like that, how every 3 months we get together.
Yeah.
That's something
Coming up this
else.
Sunday.
Yep.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So,
There you go.
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. I like that.
Yeah.
I like listening to your guys' stories.
That was one of my answers to
Because
something else.
it's
Yep.
like they're kids again when they get together. You know, we're just kind of in the background. But
Yeah.
they get together and it's just, do you remember this? Do you remember that? And it's
Yeah.
fun to listen to you guys and your stories.
For sure.
And it's interesting that Pat and I have different stories that
Sure.
Steve and Marty do because,
Yep.
you know, there is
Right.
that 4-year
Yeah.
gap between Steve and me. But it was just like the last time we were we were here, right? Were we here?
I believe so.
Yeah.
Yeah. This year.
And hearing Marty and Steve talk about stuff that I never knew, you know, of growing up little and the farm. And yeah, I agree with you. That's
Yeah.
that's fun to hear those stories.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah. Did you get to answer it? Do you want to answer anything else, Kelly?
No.
Besides- So, last question. I know I've had these written out and we're just kind of, but I love how you all are just yourselves and you're sharing just parts of your life that you wouldn't necessarily have to share. And so I think this is really going to encourage the woman listening today. And so to close out, would you just share one piece of encouragement for the one who is listening, who feels overwhelmed or helpless or hopeless, or just could use a word of encouragement today? What would you say to her?
I had a sign that hung in my office for, 35 years, and it said, choose happy. That is the most hardest thing to do. But you have to choose to take responsibility for your life, whether that means, you know, changing what's going on in your life or making changes, accepting things, whatever that means. Life's not easy, you know, it's not fair. And we certainly have to make the choice every day. And you have to make those choices of, am I going to be the victor today or am I going to be the victim today? So I just choose happy. I just keep putting one foot in front of the other and just keep showing up and
Yeah, that's important. That's powerful. We could write on a sticky note somewhere. You know,
I
we
got
need
a
to
big
be the
sign at
reminders.
home if you want
That's
it.
good. That's good. Do you have it hanging in your house now?
Mhm.
Where?
It's upstairs.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I
Great.
put it up there for the kids.
Yeah. That's great. Stacie, Deb?
Wait. Yep. Where was to go?
Mine is, you don't have to smile right now, you know, but focus on what you're going to do next.
Yeah.
You know, because it's not, nobody smiles all the time. And we all have our ups and downs in life. So to take those small steps and, like I said, just what am I going to do next? I can sit here and I can pout about it, or I can, you know, get on my phone and search for the Lord's Prayer or an encouraging prayer that, you know, just there's so much out there that, and it doesn't have to be a long one. Take a couple minutes, get yourself back together, and go on.
Yeah. Thank you.
Well, I'm a natural helper. I think probably all of us are. And so when I need help, it's hard for me to ask for help. And in times when I've needed help, I think it's really important that you do ask for help. And whatever the help is, if it's, you know, someone to ask your husband to empty the dishwasher, you know, that's hard for me to do too. because helpers want to help. And when I see someone hurting, I want to help them. And if they don't tell me what they need, I might be providing something that they don't really need. But it's okay to ask for help if you're in a season of things are stressful or you just need a break. Ask your neighbor for help. Ask your family member for help. You don't have to do it all on your own. We all think we can do it on our own, but no one is doing it on their own. No one is doing everything. So let something go or ask for help.
Yeah. Women are naturally caretakers,
Right.
I think.
And
So that is I
Yeah.
think that's hard for every woman.
Mm-hmm.
You want to go in and just take care of them.
Right.
You can't fix it, but you can
Mm-hmm.
make them feel better,
Yeah. Great advice. Great words of encouragement.
Can I go back on mine?
Absolutely.
When I said it's okay not to smile, it's okay not to smile right now.
Yeah.
Right.
did.
Right.
Okay.
Right. You did.
Exactly.
You did
Okay.
say
Yeah.
right now.
All right. I
Yes.
couldn't remember what I
Yeah.
did.
Yeah.
to say.
So you're kind
Right.
of saying just you don't need to fake it, right?
Right.
You can
Right.
just be real and
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you feel sad, it's okay to
Yeah.
feel sad.
Right.
If you want to cry, it's
Yes.
okay to cry. It's just,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Because I think we're also taught to hide all
Mhm.
that.
Yep.
And social
Yep.
media shows us that too,
Mhm.
not to put your stuff out there. And so, yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
Sometimes I don't feel like smiling either.
Mhm. That's why it's a choice. That's why some
Mhm.
days I would hang up the phone at work and just say, "Who's happy?"
yeah. And we might be smiling on the, smiling on the outside when we're not smiling on the inside. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's important. Yeah. Yeah. And you're right, social media does tell us to hide it and not be real.
Right.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's why this is called encouragement for real life, because that's what we do. We encourage each other in our real lives, no matter if they're happy days or not happy days.
Mhm.
Yeah. Well, on that note, thank you.
Thank
See,
you.
did you survive okay?
My palms are still sweating.
I know. Don't shake my hand.
This means so much that you all three did this. You traveled to my house, even though, Kelly just lives right around the corner, but 20 minutes and 15 minutes, and it all adds up. And so I know you could be doing other things today, but you decided to say yes to this. So thank you. Thank you. I appreciate you all. Love you very much.
Yeah, love you too.
Thank you.
Till next time, thanks for joining us. Wasn't that so encouraging? Now you can see why I appreciate these women in my life. And I am thinking that some of their answers maybe you could relate with some of them. And I am grateful that we could all just sit around my dining room table and chat for this episode. And so I do want to encourage you, maybe you don't have sisters, maybe you do have sisters. Maybe you just need a friend to come alongside of you. And I want to extend an invitation to check out my Abundant Life mentoring. I began this mentoring because it was something that I wish I would have had in certain seasons of my life where I just feel like I needed someone from the outside, maybe someone that I could just talk to and be honest and open with, and someone that could maybe point me to some clarity and confidence and courage in my life. And so that's what Abundant Life Mentoring is. It's a one-on-one time with me that we schedule, and we just get a chance to talk. So you can find all the details and schedule your free 20-minute connection call when you click the link below in the show notes. And also, I am exploring the idea of starting some sort of Abundant Life Mentoring group. And this group would be a way that we can connect with other women, that it would be kind of on the go type of encouragement for mentoring. And it would just be a different type of layout for Abundant Life Mentoring. And so I'm just exploring the ideas of that. If you would like to know more, to be in the know right away, as soon as the information comes out, and when enrollment begins, then click on that link below for the Abundant Life Mentoring group. And I think that would just be fun to be able to just connect with you in that way too, and that we could just kind of walk alongside of each other in life. So check that out too as well. And I just want to encourage you today, one last note, just to encourage you to keep living the abundant life that Jesus came to give you. You are right where he wants you. He has a special place for you, serving the people that are in front of you, loving the people that are in front of you, and also don't forget to take care of yourself too. So thank you for being here today. I truly appreciate it. God bless you.
Thank you so much for joining me here today. You can find more at julielefebure.com. And until next time, stay encouraged.